Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic episode of World's Finest. As always, we're your hosts, Lee and LT. LT, good day, sir.
How you doing, bud?
I am doing great, my friend. Man, it is an exciting time. Of course, Christmas is almost here, so of course that's very exciting. But for us Marvel fans, it is Christmas as well because, dude, we just got, in day of recording, Spider-Man's coming out tomorrow. We're both seeing it here the next 3 days. We've got Hawkeye, which was on just last night, and it was fantastic, man. Living a great, fantastic day in this world right now with all this comic book stuff, as we always say. So much good stuff to talk about. Why don't we just dive right in and start talking about Hawkeye?
Sure. Yeah, no, man. Episode 5, delivered a lot of, on top of Easter eggs, a lot of what the fans have been wanting. Finally, hopefully, if you haven't seen it, spoilers, because we're going to talk about a big reveal at the end. But this episode finally, we get to see Clint just fed up, and he wants to end this over and just get back to his family somehow. But the action scenes, and what do we left off? We left off with on the rooftop. We see on episode 4, we leave Black Widow's sister comes out, and not Anya. I can
Yelena.
Yelena. We see her at the end of 4, and then we see her a lot of her on this episode, and I like her character in this one. She's she's being portrayed as on top of a stone cold killer. She's excited to be in New York at Christmas time, sightseeing on top of her mission. It was full of a lot of emotion for Clint and I guess Kate Bishop, because she was hurt at the end of episode 4, where emotionally hurt. Her Clint told her to go home, to stop what she's doing. But of course, she didn't listen.
Nope, not at all, dude. I'm gonna jump in and say, since you're talking about Yelena, I think she's a wonderful addition to the Marvel universe. We're talking about the actress Florence Pugh does a fantastic job with her. Scarlett Johansson, yes, obviously did a great job. But if we are being primed to have this new Black Widow take over the Marvel universe, she's fantastic. She just comes to life. She's her character's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Her character's fun. I love watching her on the screen. She just crackles, dude. She really does. She's great. And it was really great, especially if Kate Bishop is being primed to take over as the new Hawkeye. It was kind of cool to see both Yelena and Kate kind of really bonding. You know what I mean? During this dinner scene with the macaroni.
Sriracha.
It was awesome. And now we also know the episode started and gave us a great little prologue by basically showing us what happened to Yelena. We never really knew if she had been snapped or not. That's before the show even started. They gave us that intro, and then Hawkeye showed previously on Hawkeye. You know what I mean? It was really cool the way they did that. She was gone in the snap, and it was cool to see what it looked like for someone who was not there during one of those 2 battles.
Right.
They've already given us in WandaVision. They showed us what it was like for someone to come back with Monica. You know what I mean?
Rambo.
Monica Rambo. This one, they showed exactly what it was like to the experience of what it was like for everyone. Even though Peter did a good job of describing it to to Tony. Spider-Man did a good job of describing it to Tony when he first came back in Endgame. But it was great for us as an audience to see what it was like for them. They basically were gone. It was like an instant.
A few seconds, not even.
They saw themselves. She was getting water, and her hands started to phase away, and then she was next thing you know, she was back, and the environment had changed around her. You know what I mean? The new paint job in the bathroom, all that stuff. So that was really cool. I like that. So she was obviously gone 5 years. Come to find out, she didn't ever get a chance to say, didn't know Natasha was gone or anything,
Nope.
except until when her. But it was interesting to me that they kind of insinuated that she was told by her friend when she came back in the house.
Oh, yeah.
That Black
Black
Widow
Widow. Yeah.
was, yeah, that Black Widow was dead. But I'm like, how did, if we look at the timing of when she comes back, Natasha died that same day before Hulk did the snap. You know what I mean? So I'm like, how did the news get out? And when Yelena came back, there was still a big fight with Thanos and everything. How did they know that Black? It's just something I. Are you following what I'm saying?
No, I could
Like,
see that.
how did that get out to the general public that Black Widow was dead? This lady
Right.
who's in a totally different country. How is that? So that was one thing it stood out to me. But besides that little faux pas, it was incredible at the beginning. So I did love it, and I thought that the introduction, which we have not spoken about yet. So we talked about Elena; she was fantastic. Kingpin,
Kingpin.
Wilson Fisk. Now we didn't get to see him doing no lines or anything, but I do believe he'll be making an appearance next week.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
think.
Especially when we find out it's Kate Bishop's mom
Yeah,
who contacted him.
exactly. And so Vincent D'Onofrio, but so I didn't say it. Yeah, we get Wilson Fisk, but it's the same exact actor who was in Daredevil.
Yeah.
All of this stuff has now been confirmed. On our last show last week, that was when Kevin Feige had said Daredevil was coming back. Or I'm sorry, the guy who plays Daredevil, same actor would be back.
Would be back,
And,
yeah. So
yeah.
that already just kind of cements the rumor of Matt Murdock coming out in Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe we will see him.
So
Maybe
yeah,
we will. So I mean, the great stuff. Hawkeye, I thought was awesome. I know a lot of people have been, for some reason, I think we talked about this last week. The ratings haven't been so hot with it, but I believe they'll start to pick up now. I think it's just a lot of things, right? The holidays, people are doing things and stuff.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
No,
it'll
the way they tied it into another property of MCU, I think that's gonna bring a lot of people in, especially the ones who like didn't want to watch it and now like, hey, now this is part of MC Daredevil's now part of that. A lot of fans love Daredevil.
Oh, they did.
That
It
show.
had a lot of fans. But here's the question: we don't really know if that's really we know it's the same people, but it could be, with the whole introduction of the multiverse. We don't know what storylines. It could be a variant. So
Cool.
the same people. Like, does that mean that Luke Cage is going to be the same actor? Iron Fist. Something tells me no for Iron Fist. I think I spoke about this before. Maybe for Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. But it was great, and I can't wait to see him actually interacting with Hawkeye next week. So something I meant to bring up last week, which I didn't. Linda Cardellini, the actress who plays, I'm gonna just call her Mockingbird.
I've loved her forever. Mockingbird.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Well, the rumors haven't been now because she's really affiliated, more integrated, I should say, in Hawkeye's business.
Yeah, everything. I mean,
business.
this is the first time we see her in her element. I mean, we've only seen her as the housewife, the mother of the kids.
Clint's
now
wife, yeah.
Now we're seeing her that there's more to her than we know. Especially,
yeah.
I mean, when she's speaking all like Russian or or she was, what language was she
German,
speaking?
yeah, German, I believe it was
German,
yeah.
and then all her contacts and stuff like
yeah.
that. So she might be, I mean, in the comics, they were
married.
They were married. So
yeah, during his tenure of being leader of the West Coast Avengers,
yeah,
they were definitely a married couple. And they Mockingbird, or Bobby, I should say, was introduced in Agents of Shield.
yes,
But who knows if they never actually called her Mockingbird in that. You know what I mean? So she very well could be. But then again, she seems to be tied to the Kingpin somehow. So who knows? Who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe as Mockingbird, she took down the Kingpin. I just know that there's definitely more to her that meets the eye, and that'll be interesting to see what happens.
Now, do you see this? I mean, jumping forward, do you see this continuing on as a Hawkeye season 2, or are they gonna jump into make a movie?
Well, here's the only one that out of all the shows that have happened so far, this is the fifth one really, if you count What If. And What If they've said What If's getting a season 2, and Loki's getting a season 2. There's been no announcement whatsoever of WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or Hawkeye. Now, if I were a betting man, if Hawkeye were to get a season 2, I would say it would be led by Kate Bishop.
With any kind of cameo of Clint, if
Clint.
I
Some
mean,
feels like Clint's almost like, I feel like this is almost a hitting of the reins, even though I don't want to see it go down that way. I
yeah,
feel
like
like it is.
especially when he just said, screw it, and he dressed up back as Ronin to go meet Echo.
Yeah.
Just this is a final, this is last your last warning type of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, who knows? I mean, we don't know. I mean, now that we have Wilson Fisk into the mix, and the whole family and Mockingbird, and Echo finally realizing, maybe Clint wasn't lying. She's actually questioning, that it was Kingpin that they had her father killed rather than
Yeah.
Ronin.
Yeah, that's all definitely. I mean, that's all set up for her own show for sure. I mean, she's totally now suspecting that something's up. The second in command of her father, who again, I think I went spoiled this last week. Also, the clown. He hasn't become, I guess, officially the clown yet, but that's his persona in the
Right.
comic. Um, that's definitely set up to where she's going to start trying to take down the Kingpin. For all we know, the Kingpin's already got his own show, and it's called Echo. You know what I mean?
Right.
And maybe with some support from Daredevil. Who knows? But the fact of the matter is, it's just it's all good stuff, dude. I'm loving it. In fact, and the Echo show will be in 2022 also.
Right. Now I'm hoping, I loved the whole Netflix MCU series, and I'm hoping they keep that into this universe. I'm hoping this is not like a different universe or a different.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it might be though. I feel like but we know what, we got to be happy that they're at least not been recast, and they're at least using the same people. You know what I mean? They could have easily just gone a whole different direction and say, I don't even want anything. But the fact that Charlie Cox, that's his name, I couldn't think of it earlier, Charlie Cox, and did such a fantastic job, and Vincent D'Onofrio, it would have been hard for anybody to measure up to those two guys so quickly. But who knows? At least maybe, because who knows if they want to be tied to what came before, you know what I mean, with the hand and all that. With the MCU now with Kevin Feige,
right?
They could at least maybe they, I don't know. I just don't know if they're gonna. But I do know that at least he looks comic accurate a little bit more now. Kingpin, he's got the white suit on. He's got the cane. He looked much bigger because Kingpin in the comics has always been shown as
huge,
huge dude. You know what I mean? Tall and imposing. And Vince D'Onofrio is too, but they didn't make him look abnormally big like he is. They didn't do that in the Daredevil show. He definitely looks. We'll know for sure next week, but he looks much taller than the.
Well, I'm hoping his introduction, not only will we see him in Echo and maybe another series or somehow any incorporation of Daredevil. I'm hoping he's also a big Spider-Man baddie too. So
yeah, he is. He totally is. So I think we'll see some crossovers with all that happening. I think the Kingpin is here to stay, and it's good because they haven't really had a bad guy like that in the Marvel cinematic universe. They haven't really had the mafia, not the mafia, but like organized crime. There's been some insinuations of that, specifically within Iron Man 3. With the Killian selling those arms, to people, and then there's a little bit, and there's another one too, really kind of. That was really it. You know what I mean? There hasn't been a lot, I guess. So it's going to be good, and I think he's going to have his tentacles in quite a few.
A lot areas. I mean, he's probably one of those grounded villains that can be played, everywhere. I mean, Thanos was only used so much because of storyline. You're not going to see Thanos in a New York City ghetto trying to
right, exactly,
sell arms or whatever, and that goes for like Ultron or any baddie, But he can be used everywhere actually.
Yeah, for sure. So all good stuff, man. In that, I'm excited for episode 6 next week. So tune in next week. So we'll definitely be talking about that as well as the our Spider-Man review. Now, moving a little bit past Hawkeye, One of the other things I wanted to bring up, you brought we slightly discussed this earlier, is the announcement of Gotham Knights.
Mm.
And it's funny that they're playing off this name that everybody's excited about, the game Gotham Knights, where basically Batman is quote unquote dead, and this quote unquote, because I say that because I don't think Batman in the game is going to wound up being dead. I think I think he's Talon. Anyway, I'm going into a whole different thing.
Word of Owls. No, I know.
yeah. So I'm going into all that, but people are excited about that game. I know I am. They announced a show which is a play on that name. I mean, it's the same name, where Batman is dead, and then I guess his son, which they haven't made the announcement if it's going to be Damian Wayne or Jason Todd or whoever.
They said, well, what I read
Grayson.
was adopted son.
Did they say adopted son?
That's what I read.
Okay, all right. Well, then I hadn't read that. I just saw son.
But that still leaves you with 3 to choose from.
Tim.
Who are they going?
Tim, Jason, or Dick. If they're going with somebody, the way they described him was almost like a hothead. I feel like they might just go with Jason.
Yeah.
Since Dick's being used over time. Who knows him? And then he's teaming up with a bunch of bad guys' kids.
Bad guys' kids. What?
They are to protect Gotham. I'm just so tired of, especially where we are now. I thought we were moved past all of these weird, as opposed to just doing a true, tale of a comic book hero and story. I thought we were done with these weird amalgamations of things,
exactly.
And it's just like, I don't know how Batman being dead. I mean, everybody keeps trying to kill Batman off. Batwoman has been kidnapped for 5 years or whatever. It's just, because it's been a long time now.
Yeah,
he's missing for years. I don't like that they're doing that to my boy. You know what I mean? He's been who could kidnap Batman and hold him hostage for 5 or 6 years? That's not my Batman.
Nope.
You know what I mean? And then now they're killing him off in this other show. I don't know. I'm not excited about it. I'm sure maybe I'll check out the first episode out of curiosity whenever it comes out. What are your thoughts, dude?
No, exactly. When they announced it, I'm like, wow, they're going to make some kind of port or adaptation of the video game. But then when they started describing it, you're like, hell no. What? Teaming up with the son, with the kids of the bad guys? What do you mean? So are we to say that he's going to team up with a Riddler Jr., a Clayface Jr.? None of these characters had kids.
No.
Are we getting the Two-Face Junior? What? No. And then trying to solve the crime of who killed Batman? What? Yeah. Now, when at first I was like, I heard on that, but then it said CW. I'm like, oh, dude, I thought CW was done, or like stopping making these superhero shows and just transitioning into HBO Max.
Yeah.
But this is a CW show, so it's gonna be probably
soap opera-ish.
Yeah.
It's gonna be soap opera-ish. There'll be all these relationships. They always make all the shows about the will they or won't they the first couple of seasons, the whole Sam and Diane thing.
Bad CG, and there's gonna be limited violence. There's gonna be, of course, no cussing. It's just there's so many things already against it that but I don't know. Of course, like you said, I'm going to watch the show. I'll probably watch the first several episodes. I mean, when Gotham was announced, its premise was really good. A young Bruce Wayne, Detective Gordon. But then as the series went on, it wasn't about Gordon anymore. It was about Bruce Wayne. It was Bruce Wayne, and then they had these ridiculous versions of the bad guys. They had a horrible Bane, and the only true badasses of that show were the Riddler and Penguin. Edward.
I think the Joker. I thought they did. I think that dude did a really good job.
That wasn't even technically the Joker.
Right. I mean, it was the very last episode. He came. I mean, he escaped. I mean, he was the Joker. Right. I thought that guy, but no, you're right. The first one was not, because the first one died, even though he was the Joker. But then that other, and now I'm going. It was convoluted. They came out. They were twins, and then the last
Valeska twins. We're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, but then the last one turned out to be the Joker, even though the first. But anyway, I digress. It was. I actually, not to go too deep into Gotham, but I actually thought I feel the same way about you. But I thought some of their adaptations of bad guys I thought were actually pretty well done, much better than what the CW has done with any of their Batman stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I thought that all they really needed to do was just add Batman because I thought the depictions, the adaptations of the villains, like you said, Penguin, Riddler, Joker. I actually thought, like I said, those three did really. They embodied them. I thought pretty well.
Right.
You know.
Well,
So
we'll see. I mean, I don't remember what they said that show was going to. It was going to be fall or next year or something like that, or next.
Who knows? Hopefully, it's not picked up, but we'll see. But yeah, I think probably fall next year.
Not
It's
picked
probably
up.
it's probably when we're going to see it. Maybe it'll just go down in history as that like the failed Aquaman pilot that's out there,
Or the failed Wonder Woman show.
Oh yeah, I never did see that. Did you?
I
Ever see
saw that. Oh my God, it was dumb.
It was.
I mean, Adrian
Padalecki, yeah,
she's a beautiful, beautiful lady, but no,
she used to play Mockingbird in the Agents of Shield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't watch it. Not that it was stupid. It was just she was like the CEO of some kind of toy company or something, and they were bringing her figures of Wonder Woman, and I'm like, what? No. Anyway,
right? Yeah, I did read about that, but no, it was like I said, I thought we were past those days, but apparently, Gotham Knights adaptations like that are coming around. So we will see, my friend. We shall see.
Right.
I guess I want to make sure we wanted to talk about the Gotham Knights. We talked about Hawkeye. We're very excited about Spider-Man coming out next week, or I'm sorry, tomorrow. We're going to talk about that next week. Another announcement they did, and we'll talk about this briefly. I don't know. Were you a fan of Kick-Ass?
The first one, yes, and only because I loved Nick Cage.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah,
he embodied Adam West, right? I mean, he was basically impersonating Adam West. I thought,
right,
Batman. But no, I loved Kick-Ass. I thought it was a great movie. They just announced, I think it was today, they're doing a reboot, but the term reboot to me means they're going to recast it and stuff like that. But there's a question is that they might actually be using some of those same characters. So maybe it's just like a reboot / continuation. You know what I mean? So I think I would like to see it go that route, actually. She was just on, oh my gosh, Chloe
Moretz.
Yes. She was just on Tonight Show recently, and she was asked about that. And she said she'd be interested in revisiting the character of Fit Girl.
Right.
So yeah, I think in 2 years we'll see a reboot / continuation or whatever it might be of Kick-Ass. So I think that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed both movies, but I liked part one a lot better than part two.
Yep, you're both my friend. You and me both. Well, cool, man. I think did we capture it all? Is there something else that I'm missing?
No. I mean, I'm kind of anxious to get on with next week's show with the Spider-Man and finale of Hawkeye. So that episode of ours might run a little long because I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Oh, we are, my friend. We are with that finale of Hawkeye and then Spider-Man and whatever surprises that has in store for us. There's going to be a lot. Oh, which I guess would be just talking about the Doctor Strange trailer too, because from what I understand, that's at the end.
Yes.
So we'll be talking about that.
Someone leaked it online today, and it was quickly taken down. So by Disney.
You didn't watch it, did you?
I didn't get to watch it. No, I'm not
going. Would you have watched it?
Well, if it was a trailer with nothing to do with Spider-Man, yes.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that. So
whatever happens in there could show us something in the trailer about that, So who knows? I wasn't going to avoid it.
Yes.
But no, I think we've said it all, man. I think it was a good, busy show tonight. A great show. We talked about some good stuff.
Yes, sir.
And we look forward to bringing back our reviews of Hawkeye finale as well as Spider-Man next week.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, LT, it's been a pleasure as always, man.
Yeah, brother. We'll see you all next week.
Yes, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let us know what your thoughts are on the show. And there we go. Have a good one. Take care.